Rise of Isolationism, America's Response to Global Tensions. Oban. Introduction. In the early 20th century, particularly after World War I and leading into World War II, the United States witnessed a significant rise in isolationist sentiment. This shift represented a strategic and philosophical response to the increasing global tensions and complexities of international affairs. Isolationism, as a policy, sought to limit American involvement in foreign conflicts and international political commitments, reflecting a desire to focus on domestic concerns and avoid the perceived pitfalls of global entanglements. 2. Timeline of key events, 1919 to 1920. U.S. Senate rejection of the Treaty of Versailles and League of Nations membership. 1930s. Passage of Neutrality Acts, aimed at preventing American involvement in foreign wars. 1941. Attack on Pearl Harbor, leading to the end of isolationism and U.S. entry into World War II. 3. Historical context. The roots of American isolationism can be traced back to the aftermath of World War I, when disillusionment with the war's outcomes and a desire to return to pre-war normalcy were prevalent. This sentiment was fueled by the economic challenges of the Great Depression and a skepticism about the effectiveness of international alliances in ensuring peace and stability. 4. Key figures. Woodrow Wilson, 1856 to 1924. Despite his efforts to involve the U.S. in the League of Nations, his vision was ultimately rebuffed. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1882 to 1945. Initially adhered to isolationist policies, but later moved towards international engagement as global tensions escalated. 5 main events and milestones. A rejection of the Treaty of Versailles and the League of Nations. The U.S. Senate's rejection of the Treaty of Versailles and the League of Nations membership in 1919 to 1920 marked a clear move towards isolationism, reflecting a reluctance to entangle the U.S. in European affairs. B. The Neutrality Acts of the 1930s. A series of Neutrality Acts passed in the 1930s were designed to prevent the United States from being drawn into external conflicts, illustrating the strength of isolationist sentiment during this period. See shift in policy at the brink of World War II. As World War II unfolded in Europe and Asia, isolationist policies were increasingly challenged. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 marked a definitive end to isolationism as the U.S. entered the war. 6th, legacy and impact. The era of isolationism had a profound impact on American foreign policy and global perception of the U.S. It reflected a tension between national interests and global responsibilities that continues to influence American foreign policy debates. The eventual shift away from isolationism marked a significant change in the role of the United States on the world stage. 7. Conclusion. The rise of isolationism in the United States was a significant response to the complexities of global politics in the early 20th century. It represented a cautious approach to foreign entanglements, but also highlighted the challenges of maintaining a policy of non-engagement in an increasingly interconnected world. The legacy of this period underscores the ongoing balance between national interests and international involvement.